Welcome.
Ooh, we got doggy.
Yes, sir. Can I help?
Doggy. No, I got it. Oh, buddy.
Mama, you gotta get out of the way.
Come on.
Did you guys get any food?
No.
No, not yet.
You?
No. Do you want us to order some food or anything?
Yeah.
He's hungry.
What do you want?
You got like chicken and rice and shit like that. So dude, he's still standard. Just chicken and rice.
Yeah, see, that's what
potatoes. It doesn't change.
That'll forever be what I eat.
Yeah.
It's bigger on YouTube, huh?
Yeah.
Everything does.
That dude always, like, all the shit from behind the
Everything
scenes, you
does.
never really see what it's like until you're in that position.
Like, it makes sense.
Before you roll, Ron, you want to say we out here about to do a podcast on Raw Talk?
Yo, what up, everybody? We're out at Bradley Martin, on the Raw Talk podcast.
Oh yeah. Let's go, baby.
Me and the man himself.
Let's go. Oh, you
Bradley
the man.
Martin.
You're the fucking man. You
Yeah,
are.
buddy.
All right, so I have this is probably to this point one of the most exciting podcasts that I could ever do for so many reasons. You were the guy that when I was 16 years old, I would watch your videos. Like, this is way before the internet, way before social media, way before YouTube, Instagram, all this stuff. I'd watch your videos, and I told you earlier in the gym, I have to admit that I pirated them. I feel bad, but this is the one and only Ronnie Coleman. You are a fucking legend. The things that you've done is amazing on so many levels. But I want to talk to you a little bit about, before we get into a lot more stuff, I want to talk to you a little bit about your childhood. Like, how did you find bodybuilding? How did bodybuilding become your life? Like, I know you played sports. Yeah. I know you played football. When were you like, this is my thing, right?
Oh, that's kind of hard to say. I grew up in a small town. We had...
what town was it?
It's Bastrop, Louisiana.
Okay.
Right close to Monroe, Shreveport, those bigger cities.
Yeah.
But we just had football, basketball, track, and powerlifting. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of sports, but nobody did bodybuilding. I started lifting like as a kid, just for fun.
Yeah.
At 12.
Okay.
The reason why I started because when I was a kid growing up, I was real active, always out in the streets, playing, and everywhere I went, every time I would go to the store, go to the supermarket, people would always ask me if I worked out. I'm like, no.
This is before you worked out.
Before I worked out, yeah.
Okay.
This was when I was like 9, 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
So after a while, I'm like, man, why did everybody ask me if I worked out?
So were you just you were just already muscular?
I was real muscular as a kid,
No working out.
No working out at all.
Okay.
I was still real muscular, and people could see, because it looked like I worked out all the time, but I didn't. So I'm like, man, I wonder what I would look like if I actually started working out. So I started working out when I was 12 years old, and immediately fell in love with it. I got the weight set, my house. I'm working out every single day, doing curls. I didn't know what I was doing.
Of course, yeah.
I'm just working out, just trying to get a little muscles on me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I fell in love with it. And by the time I got to junior high, I was playing football. We didn't have. I was on the track team. We had football, basketball, track, and that was it.
Yeah.
The guys at the high school saw me like, man, we want you to join our powerlifting team when you get to high school. So, cause you real muscular right now. You look like you're kind of strong. I'm like, I'd love to. And as soon as I got to high school, I started out on the powerlifting team.
Right.
And they taught me proper form, how to work out as a powerlifter.
This is at 12.
Yeah, this is at 14.
14, okay.
Yeah. Because that's when we started high school back then. So I immediately fell in love with powerlifting right away. Started doing meets. I didn't do real good, because I'm new, and I'm still learning.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
I'm having fun, having the time of my life, and like I said, I just fell in love with powerlifting right away, and I worked out every single chance I got.
Yeah. So when you found bodybuilding, I'm curious, what did the people in your life, like your parents, what did they think about you doing bodybuilding?
My mom always supported me in everything I've ever done. You know, when I played college football, she came to every chance she got to come to a game, she was there.
Yeah.
Same thing in high school. And when I started bodybuilding, same thing. You know, every single chance she got to come to a show, she was there.
Yeah.
And she always supported me 100% in everything I did.
Yeah.
So she loved it.
She loved it.
She loved it. Yeah.
Did anyone ever doubt it? Like, did you ever feel like there was anyone in your family or like in your
Nobody.
circle? No one ever doubted
Nobody
you?
ever doubted me. They always gave me 110. You know, my whole family did. My brothers, my sisters, everybody supported me 100%. And they came to all my shows, and the ones that they could, you know.
Yeah.
They didn't get the chance to travel out of town too much, but when they could, they would be there.
Yeah.
So they always supported me.
So when you found bodybuilding and it was like, this is you, when did you realize that you could be great at it? Because as we know now, one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
8-time, like you've actually, I think you have the most wins ever in the IFBB.
At one time I did, and
Yeah.
then Dexter, I think.
Oh yeah, he just kept competing
He
forever.
just kept competing forever.
Yeah.
I didn't find out I could be great at it until I won my first Olympia.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is crazy though. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were training and you won your first, that's when you realized you could be great at it? When you won your first
When I
Olympia?
won my first Olympia. A lot of people don't know it though. I worked full time the whole time I was training, you know, getting ready for the Olympia. My first Olympia I won, I worked all the way up until like 2 or 3 days out before I left to go to the show.
As a police officer.
As a police officer. So,
Yeah.
you know, the whole time I'm, you know, doing bodybuilding, you know, I'm just doing it because the guys told me to give me a free membership to the gym.
Yeah.
I didn't start bodybuilding until I was about 24, 25 years old.
Yeah.
And the only reason I did it, because I never forget it, like it was yesterday. The first time I went to the gym, he's like, man, you a pretty big guy. You ever doing it? Bodybuilding? I'm like, no, dude, I ain't never did bodybuilding. I'm not into that.
Prior to that, you were just powerlifting.
Powerlifting. That
So
was it.
your core before bodybuilding was 100% strength.
Yeah, just strength.
Okay.
Yeah, never ever
For years was
thought
what it
about
sounds like.
bodybuilding.
For years.
For years, yeah.
Okay.
Never did any bodybuilding. Never wanted to do any. And I went to this gym probably like the first 3 or 4 days in the gym. He's like, man, you need to try this bodybuilding thing. I'm like, no, dude, I don't want to bodybuild. I just want to, you know, get a good workout in and, you know, go to work, because I always went to work right after I, you know, trained every day. And he kept telling me, man, I think you could be Mr. Olympia, world champion. And I'm like, no, that's okay. I don't want to bodybuild. I just want to, you know, get a workout in and go to work. And
this was at 26 years old.
Yeah, this is at like when I first went to the gym. This is my first 3-4 days in the gym. He's telling me all this stuff, you know, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to bodybuild. I just want to work out and go to work. That's all I want to do. You know, I'm not interested in bodybuilding.
So when did you realize, oh, this is my future. This is the thing that I'm going to go towards. When did you realize that?
I never really thought about it.
You didn't.
I didn't, because I was working full-time in the police department.
Yeah.
Making real good money. I had nice cars. I had Corvettes, and you know,
I remember seeing all this in the videos.
Yeah, nice trucks. I had 2 or 3 vehicles, and I had my own house. You know,
Yeah.
I had a brand new house and everything, and I just never thought about being a professional bodybuilder full time.
Yeah.
It was just bodybuilding is secondary. Working for the police department is my primary objective.
Right. So when it became full time and you knew that it was like the thing that you were going to do, did you know that you would be that great? Like that you would have that many titles?
No. I never even thought I could win the Olympia, because you know, I was a police officer.
Yeah.
And that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a career with the police department, and I say I was making real good money and things was going real good for me. I had like 2 jobs besides working for the police department. I worked at Denny's on the weekends,
Yeah.
And then I would work at this place called Western Warehouse, the boot store.
I was just like, how did you balance all this?
Well, you know, I was always a hustler.
Yeah. I just like, how do you have time to get the meals in?
Trying
Like,
to, I just took my food with me. I took my food to work. You know, it only took me about 5-10 minutes to heat it up, and I can eat it right there in the car.
yeah.
So, you know, that was never an issue, never a problem. There were some days where, you know, I didn't get a lunch break because I was so busy.
Yeah.
So what I would do is when I got a call, you know, I would, like, to do an accident report, it takes about 2 hours. So while I'm filling out my accident report, I'm eating at the same time.
Okay.
So, because I can't get a lunch break because I'm so busy at work.
I wonder if people were making jokes like this big guy, like getting his meal in.
See, they didn't see me because I always went home to do my. I was kind of smart in a way. I would work in the area where my house was,
Okay.
so I could always go home.
Oh, this is so funny to me.
I would go home.
So you get the meals.
to get my meals in.
Yeah.
I would go home, you know, use the bathroom or take my bathroom break.
Yeah.
I made sure every time I was working for the police department, my house was in the same district that I worked in.
Yeah.
So that made it that much easier for me.
Yeah. What did the other like police officers think that you were? Because you were like you were a jacked bodybuilder.
Well, you know, most of the guys didn't really pay attention to other guys. Everybody was, you know, trying to survive.
I get it.
Everybody's on their own. They're doing their own thing. They're taking care of their families, you know. They're trying to make as much money as they can. So everybody just stuck to their own things, stuck to their own business. You know,
Yeah.
they were never really concerned about, you know, what other guys had going on because they were too busy trying to, you know, take care of their families and provide for their families. So they really wasn't concerned with what I was doing.
Yeah. So when did you stop being a police officer and just full-time bodybuild?
Probably after I won my third Mr. Olympia.
So you won 3.
Yeah.
This is so crazy to me because like people listening to this on the internet, watching this now, it's just such a different world now with social media, with like, you know, the fact that people can create their own brands or sell their own products or be sponsored. There's so much money in this industry now that didn't exist and wasn't relevant when you were in your prime and even on your way up. I guess my question in that regard is like, do you think that social media has changed bodybuilding?
Oh, tremendously.
Yeah.
Tremendously, yeah. Because you can be a millionaire just from posting on the internet.
Yeah.
You don't have to do bodybuilding or nothing. You can just, you know, do your own thing and make millions of dollars just posting, you know, you working out or
being in shape,
being in shape,
talking about it,
teaching people stuff, making your own stories, you know.
Yeah. Do you think it's changed the competitiveness in bodybuilding?
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure. Guys don't have to be so involved in just being a bodybuilder, because they got these other things that you can do with social media. You can make money from doing other stuff besides just bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So back then, you know, when we didn't have social media, so when we competed, you know, everybody was competing, you know, for the money, you know, to make money off bodybuilding. Now they got so many other avenues from social media that you can make money from.
Yeah, and what I found interesting, we talked about this in gym earlier, we were training, was you guys never in that era really got a chance to see each other. So there wasn't like, oh, you know, you could see like, you know, Chris Bumstead could see his competitors coming up now, and these people can see each other because there's so much content being made along the way.
Yep.
You guys are just like completely in the dark, and you saw them that day, and you were like, oh shit.
You didn't see your competitor until the day of the show.
Yeah.
Leading up to that, you never knew what anybody was doing, how hard they were training.
Yeah.
Nothing. You didn't know anything about what the other guy was doing.
So I find this so interesting because this dynamic, this concept, like, for example, I did social media from the very beginning of social media, like about 2011. Like Instagram started at the end of 2010. So like I started October, like, excuse me, not October. It started in October 2010.
Yeah.
I started in like I don't know what the exact date was, like the next year, 2011, and it had just started, like Instagram. And so I didn't have examples of like, oh, I can do this on the internet and become a social media person, because there was no one doing that. Like it wasn't a thing. Like I guess in a sense kind of pioneered that.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting, like you and the bodybuilders back then pioneered like bodybuilding in its entirety. But I find it interesting now, in the question I'm trying to get to is, because of there's so much comparison between people.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's changed bodybuilding? Like it seems like it's like it's a completely different sport almost now.
Yeah.
Like, and just in general, the comparison of, if I saw you on the internet posting this or doing that, and then I'm trying to do it or copy it, or I gotta, now I'm worried about what you might look like on stage, versus like, what I'm saying is, prior to social media, even when I trained, you just did it. You almost did it because you really, really loved it. And this is something we talked about in the gym. Do you think that people now do stuff just because they see someone else doing it and be successful at it? Or they really, because like,
thought about it, but I think the guys are just doing what they want to do, and really not concerned with other guys doing, because you really can't control it. So, as far as that aspect goes, I think they're doing it their own way, you know. And
because what I see, a lot of guys
concerned about what anybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Because you can't control it, basically.
Yeah.
So doesn't seem, because there's so much other stuff going on now.
Yeah.
The guys are not like 1,000% invested in the bodybuilding.
Yes.
You know, there's so many other avenues. Like, guys are starting their own supplement companies.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the last thing you ever thought of when we were competing. Guys, doing other stuff, like, starting their own T-shirt company.
Yeah.
It's because of social media, you got so many other ways of making money.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be like totally involved in the bodybuilding.
And this is what I'm trying to say. The thing that I think I find so interesting, and for people listening, kids listening who like want to be great at bodybuilding or want to be great at social media, like I became great because I did it because I loved it. And there wasn't examples of like, and we're talking about purpose and passion, there wasn't examples of I can make money if I do this, right?
Yeah.
You being a bodybuilder, it wasn't like, oh, I can like look at these other bodybuilders, or you were just doing it because you loved it.
Yeah.
And then you became the ultimate success of it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm trying to draw. Like, there's a lot of people now who see stuff on social media and they go, oh, I want to do what that person's doing, or I'm going to kind of copy that person's, like, oh, they did this and then they did this and then they started this company and then I'm going to mimic this. And then the genuineness, like the purposeful, like the passion in it is a little different, because maybe they're doing it just because they saw someone else do it, versus like, this is all I know. Like, all I knew was training. All I knew was like what I was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was posting it, and then it became a thing that like, oh wait, we can make money doing this. Like, because when I started social media, it wasn't like that. When you did bodybuilding, it wasn't like that.
No, not at all.
So what I'm saying is, I think the people who like could be, and this is for people listening, like if you really want to be super successful at something, I think you really have to give a fuck about it beyond just making money.
Yeah.
Because you became a great bodybuilder, a legendary bodybuilder, because you really love that shit.
And enjoy it and look forward to doing it each and every single day.
Yeah.
And that was my, ultimate passion. That was the thing that I look forward to doing each and every single day. Every day. Like I was telling you, we was working out, that was my hobby.
Yeah.
So I look forward to just working out and training hard and going heavy each and every single day.
Well, that was something I found crazy. You said it reminds me of me. It's like before I got on the internet, like all I did was, it wasn't to shoot content. It wasn't to, lift girls, do all the crazy stuff that I've done over the time. I literally like would try to lift heavy every day. When you were saying that, I was like, this is so interesting, because like that's exactly how I trained.
Yep.
Not that it was the best correct way to train to like optimize my results if I want to be a powerlifter and see the most progress, because I know that I need to take days off, rest days. But like, I found a lot of like similarities. I was like, fuck, that's literally all I ever did, was like, I'd go in and try and lift as heavy as possible, no matter what.
No matter what. Each and every single day I trained.
You did that.
That's the way I trained. There was never any like, well, I think I'm gonna go light today.
Yeah.
Because, I've been training heavy for the last 5-6 days in a row.
Yeah.
To me, it was like, I'm gonna see how heavy I can go today, the next day, and the day after that, and each and every single day.
Yeah.
So it was always about how heavy can I go today?
Yeah. You didn't complicate. Like nowadays,
How
it's
much
like
stronger can I get?
nowadays you like there's so much comparison, or there's so many like, oh, try this training method or that training method or this thing, and it's interesting because like you are one of the best bodybuilders, period. And I'm telling you this before in the gym. I don't think there's ever going to be another bodybuilder at your level, size, symmetry, strength combined, and win that many titles. I don't think that's ever going to happen again. And I think it came down to like the fact, like I was saying earlier, that like you really loved it for it.
Yep. And look forward to it each and every single day.
Yeah.
And never had any bad days. Maybe one bad day that I can think of.
One bad day.
When I, didn't feel so good. I didn't get sick a lot. Maybe once or twice during my whole career.
Yeah.
I might got a stomach bug or something.
Once or twice?
Yeah, and I think that day that I had a bad day, I came down with it while I was in the gym. I'm like, man, stomach's killing me.
But you probably still finished your session.
Today. I finished what I was doing.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I'm out.
Do you have any regrets, training-wise or bodybuilding-wise?
Oh, no. When you doing something that's your hobby, something that you really and truly enjoy doing, you don't have no regrets. The only regret I had is when I was doing that 800-pound squat. I didn't do 6 reps because I knew I had 6 in me, but I didn't know that until I put it up because that was my first time ever trying it.
Yeah.
If I'd have done it, before that day, I'd have got 6 easy reps on camera, and I would have been fully satisfied. But because I didn't do it, that's the only regret I ever have in the sport. That's the only regret, because I knew, and as soon as I put it up, I said to myself, man, that was light. It was light for real,
Yeah.
And I could have got at least 3 more reps. But because I had 2 in my mind, because I, deadlifted it before.
Right. That's what you were going to do. You thought you were going to do it.
That's what I thought I was going to do. I was like, if I could get 2, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And not thinking, this is going to be light,
Do you have any other PRs that were off camera? Because
the only one I got is the front squat. I tried 6 plates on camera, and I didn't take into account the bounce of the bar.
The whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went down, it was bouncing so much, it just bounced right off my chest.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, I know I could have got more than 4, whatever I did. So that next week, I went in there and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it nice and slow and take this bounce away, and I can do more. And I did 10 reps with it.
Yeah, fuck. And that wasn't on camera.
And it wasn't on camera. We didn't have all these cell phone cameras and all this stuff back then.
It's so different. It's so different now, man.
Yeah. But that's the only thing PR that I didn't get on camera.
Yeah.
That I wished I would have got on camera.
Yeah. So with like your injuries, like the back stuff, how many surgeries have you gone through?
13 so far.
Yeah.
I've had 8 back, 3 hip, 2 neck.
Yeah. Do they cause you pain like often?
No, not too often, but my whole career has been painful, but because I'm having so much fun and enjoying myself, I can block it out. I can block it out. And plus I have a real high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
Like when I herniated my disc, I told you about it earlier. When I herniated my disc in the gym that time, I finished my training session.
What year was this?
It was 1996. I'll never forget it. I had 6 plates on there, and I normally do 12 reps with 6 plates.
Yeah.
But I took a week off, it was right after the Olympia, and I'm coming up on rep number 8, and I heard a loud pop. It sounded like a gunshot, actually. And as soon as I did it, I dumped the weight because I thought the guy behind me had hit me. I didn't know I herniated my disc,
Yeah.
I turned around like, dude, did you hit me when I was coming up? Because we always hit each other, get each other fired. He's like, no, man, I didn't touch you. I'm like, what was that loud pop? He's like, I don't know, but I heard it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, man, but let me go on to the next exercise. And I didn't, I didn't get 12 with it, but I got almost 8. So
Yeah.
I was done with that one. I went and did my leg press. I did some walking lunges, and I did some what did I did? Hamstring. I did my hamstring and quads always together. I finished my workout. I went home and put my uniform on, took a shower, ate, and I was going to work.
Yeah.
And I like, wait a minute, my back's still hurting. Because normally, my back always hurt it,
Yeah.
when I did legs, always hurt it.
You get like a back pump.
My whole life, yeah, I've always had back problem. I'm like, man, something's wrong. 'Cause it ain't supposed to hurt when I'm going to work.
Yeah.
That's when it stopped. Right after I got in the car to go to work, that's when it stopped. This day it didn't.
It stopped.
So I like, something's wrong. So instead of going to work, I went to the hospital, found out I had herniated disc.
And then did you take time off? Did you keep training?
I took time. I took 2 weeks off because I was in so much pain, that I couldn't work out.
Yeah.
But I was getting ready for the Arnold Classic. So after that 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, I can't take no more time off. I just got to deal with this pain.
Yeah.
I'll be all right. And I went back to the gym, and first thing I did was squats.
Yeah.
Because that's how I hurt my back.
So you're like, let me see if I can do this.
Yeah, let me make sure I can still do squats, and if I can still do squats, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
And I can still do squats. I just couldn't go to 600. What I could do was 315 for like 15, 20 reps.
You're just doing volume.
Yeah. So
Got
I'm
it.
like, okay, I'll be all right,
Yeah. You just
And
kept training through it.
Slowly, I trained through it. Slowly, I worked my way back up to 6 plates.
That's
By the
so
time,
crazy.
By the time I, was getting ready to go to the show, I was back up to six plates.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the actual bodybuilding career and like your progress in it. You, I saw a photo of you, and from what I understood, at least on the internet, they're like, oh, this is Ronnie's natural here, right?
Yeah.
And you looked incredible. You look like a top, like I would say, classic physique competitor right now would look. And so when did you start taking gear?
I think I was about 30, because I never forget it. Flex Wheeler was the one coming up, and he was winning all his shows. And I'm like, man, what is he doing to win all these shows? And I'm gonna go have a talk with him.
Had you won anything prior to that?
I hadn't won anything.
Okay.
I still was getting like third and fourth.
Okay.
So the top 3 qualified for the Olympia.
We're talking about pros though. Still,
Yeah.
You were still competing
Yeah.
in the pro circuit as a natural bodybuilder.
Yeah, but I would make the top 3, so I would get like third, and that would qualify me for the Olympia.
And just to be clear for everyone listening, all the other guys are probably on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really care about that though.
Of course, yeah.
But I got tired of not placing higher than third.
Yeah.
And like I said, Flex was winning, so I'm like, I'm gonna go have a talk with him and see what he's doing. So he told me everything he was doing, and he even told me who I could get gear from and everything.
Yeah.
So I went, talked to him, and I finally figured out, what exactly I had to do, and I just did everything he told me.
Yeah. Was it? I'm very curious about this because I could never know. Right? It's like in your shoes. What kind of amounts? Like what kind of gear were you taking? Was it testosterone? Was it tren? Like what?
Man, it was so long ago. I don't forgot what all he told me. I can't even remember. I remember him saying Winstrol.
So an
I think
oral.
He said, what does he tell me? It's been so long ago. I can't remember all what he told me. But I just did whatever he said he was doing.
And then you kept just doing that each show.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What the fuck?
But it was like I say, it was median. I won my first show right after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't a lot. I wasn't taking a lot. It was just small amounts here and there.
Yeah.
And whatever he told me he was doing worked for me too.
Yeah. I mean, I think genetically,
Plus,
anything would have worked for you.
Yeah, and I was 30 years old at the time because it was 1995 when I won my first show.
Yeah.
That's how I correlate. That's how I remember everything.
Yeah.
I won my first pro show in 1995, the Canada Cup. And it was right after Flex had told me what all he was taking.
So but you remember though they seemed to be moderate amounts.
Yeah, it wasn't that much. It was moderate amounts of stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot, you know. I remember it was like maybe 2 or 3 things,
Yeah.
and you know, a few pills here and there.
And did you continue that throughout? That was the same thing you always did?
Same thing I always did. That's all I needed.
All eight Olympias that you won.
No. Once I hooked up with Chad Nichols, now I remember he totally changed everything I was doing.
Okay.
He put me in. He probably doubled everything I was doing.
He increased it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. From what I can remember, but it worked. Whatever he told me to do, worked every single time.
Yeah.
He increased my cardio, increased my vitamins. I was taking a lot of vitamins and minerals.
Yeah.
He increased that. My food almost double.
Yeah.
Everything pretty much doubled when I got with him.
Yeah, and I heard I heard this from Jay that you were just like an animal when it came to obviously your training structure, but also your food. Like you never missed.
Oh no.
You were just like you had a meal, you had it, you ate it, no matter what.
Yeah.
You finished it, no matter what.
Yeah, everything was structured. Everything was done at the same time, each and every single day.
Is that just your personality? You think?
That's just exactly. That's just the way I was structured back in those days. I did everything according to a certain plan. I did everything according to a certain time of day.
Yeah.
You know, and because I had to come up with something that would work for me because I worked full time.
Yeah.
The police department. So I had to figure out, you know, what time of day I was going to do this, what time of day I was going to do that. And I did everything the same time each and every single day.
Yeah.
Everything was structured to fall at a certain time each and every single day.
Right,
like
right.
when I worked out, the same time. When I had a certain meal, it was the same time each and every single day. Even if I was busy doing something, you know, I may have missed a couple, but I made up for it.
Yeah, for sure. So I have a question on the same line of kind of stuff. What do you think about now? Like a lot of these bodybuilders are dying. Cedric had recently passed away. Like there's, you know, some guys who aren't as in the sense in the circuit of bodybuilding, but like Boston Lloyd had recently passed away. Obviously, you know, Rich passed away in the past, but even more like pros are passing away here and there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Everybody's body is different though, you know, so
Yeah.
everybody has their own way of doing things. It's kind of hard. You know, when I was coming up, we had one guy die, and they started drug testing every show.
Yeah.
He died because of diuretics, of course, you know.
Yeah, very hard on the body.
So they start drug testing for diuretics every show, and nobody passed away, nobody died or nothing until they stopped. And I'll never forget when they stopped. They stopped. See, he died in what year was that? 1995 or 1996, I think.
Who was it? Did he die on
It
stage?
was Ben Aziza. He died on the European tour. I know I wasn't Mr. Olympia back then, and I think it was either 96 or 97.
Yeah.
Cause and they drug tested every single show after that.
In the IFBB?
In the IFBB.
What? I thought they didn't drug test in the IFBB.
Yeah, they did because one guy died.
Yeah.
And you know, and the vice president wasn't having it back then. He knew what that would do to the sport.
Yeah.
So it was a drug test, and it was a real one.
Yeah.
It wasn't no fake one. You couldn't say, yeah, I took the test, but it wasn't a real test. It was a real test, and if you fail, they took your prize money.
Really?
Yeah. NASA failed. They took his money. That was in 1997.
Were they testing for diuretics specifically? Because they knew that everyone was on gear.
They was testing for diuretics specifically.
Okay, so it wasn't like you're on gear, you can't.
No, it wasn't for any gear, because he didn't die because of that. He died
Right.
because of the diuretics.
Yeah.
And that's what they tested for.
Yeah, the Lasix, Aldactone, that kind of shit.
All that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we couldn't take any diuretics back then
Okay.
until 2001 when Jay failed the test.
And then they stopped. Then they stopped testing.
Yep, because Jay told him he was gonna sue him,
Oh.
and they were like, okay, well, we
We won't keep testing.
won't
Oh.
and you get a chance to keep your prize money too. So
Oh shit.
we'll just do away with the testing.
So Jay changed that.
Jay.
Wow.
Jay changed that. Yeah.
Damn.
They didn't test no more after that.
Yeah. So what do you think a bodybuilder would need to like be aware of? Because obviously gear is not the healthiest thing in the world for anyone to be doing, right?
No,
but
no.
what do you think a bodybuilder would need to be aware of in order to do that in a healthy way? Because obviously, you know,
I was always testing my I did a full, complete blood test
I love this. Yeah.
at least 3 times a year.
I love
to
it.
test determine my liver function, my kidney function,
Your heart.
my heart,
Yeah.
everything. I did a full blood work every single year, 3 times a year,
Yeah.
and it always came back good.
Yeah.
I'm still doing it today.
Of course.
Once I found out, if you do everything the right way, you won't.
Yeah.
You'll stay alive.
Yeah. This is one of
All
the things.
your kidneys, heart, all your major arteries are functioning. You okay?
Yeah, this is one of the things I think is really important to make note and for people to listen and hear is like people really underestimate the value of knowing what's happening in their
Know
body.
what's happening in your body. And my doctor would tell me, hey, man, your blood panel look better than mine. I'm like, yeah, but I'm taking good care of myself.
It's amazing. Yeah, no, it's amazing. But that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people I think nowadays, like people aren't as, I don't know, maybe they're afraid of getting their stuff checked out, or maybe they don't know that they can get their stuff checked out. But there is so much benefit to knowing what's going on because you can make little changes and and you could affect it greatly.
Yep. And then now they got, stuff that can help keep your, heart functioning properly, your liver and your kidney
Specific
properly.
supplements, all that health stuff.
Specific supplements, yeah.
So when you were taking your supplements, because you told me this in the gym, and I was curious, did you take any like specific supplements like that? I know you said you're taking like the basic, like the vitamin D, and you had a story about that, but like the simple stuff.
They got glutathione. I'm quite
Back
sure
then?
you heard.
Because glutathione, I know it's great for the liver.
I think when it first came out, I think that's when I started taking it. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a while. And they got a couple of other things that also help.
What were you consistent with in your supplement?
A lot of these TRT places, help with a lot of that stuff. Like like I said, I do a lot of my stuff with Frontline Alternative. They got people that'll come to your house and do these tests for you, so you don't even have to go in to have it done.
Yeah.
A lot of other things I've done, like they got clinics that do. I have mine done at this clinic in stem cell.
Stem cells.
Yeah, I go to a clinic in Port of Arthur called Regonamax.
Regonamax.
Yeah, they've helped me out a lot. I've been doing that a lot. I'll go there probably about every 3 to 4 months.
This is just for overall well-being.
All overall well-being.
Right.
And it's helped me out tremendously.
Stem cells.
The stem cells, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried a couple of treatments here in the U.S. They were all right.
Yeah.
But once I started going over to Mexico, where they do the real deal, that made a tremendous. I used to be in a whole lot of pain all the time. once I started going there, my pain levels went down. I started feeling better overall.
Yeah.
I had a lot more energy, and it helped me to get some of my mobility back also.
That's amazing. It's it's weird. I'm not trying to make this like conspiracy theory, talk about government or anything, but like stem cells could be so cheap, but we don't allow it to be.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you know why?
yeah, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. The fact that you have to go out of country to get something and then have it change your life, essentially.
Exactly.
And we could do that here, but we don't allow it here.
Exactly.
It's a little fucking crazy.
Yeah, you got to go out of the country to get better.
Yeah. It's a strange
healthy.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing.
And these things work,
Yeah.
But
no, they work really well.
Big government, everybody want to make all this money,
Yeah, they got to control it.
You got to control it.
So this
Can't do certain things.
This makes me think of bodybuilding in general. We'll get back to this a little bit. It was on this trajectory, and you were there when it was going like ESPN. It was on this trajectory to be like a mainstream sport.
Yeah.
What do you think changed that?
I think back when I was competing, the DA came out and brought us all in. Wanted to know what we were taking, where we were getting our stuff from.
Why?
Because some kid playing baseball got a hold of, some kind of drug. I think it was Deca or one of the main ones.
Okay.
But somebody found out about it, and they made him quit taking it. And they started, getting moody. And one day he just committed suicide. One day he just committed suicide. And his mom, she raised holy hell.
Yeah.
With the DEA and all these people.
So wait, why did they bring in the bodybuilders?
So they brought in, cause I think he said he got it from one of the professional bodybuilders.
So they just riled all the body professionals up?
They made us go to, I think it was South Carolina, North Carolina, and testify in front of the grand jury.
What the fuck? Wait, so you got all these, so wait, were you guys all together?
All together.
Yeah, so
all the top guys.
So I'm just picturing all these super jacked dudes.
Yeah, testifying for the grand jury.
Were you guys wearing suits?
Yeah, we had,
okay.
You know what? No. They didn't make us wear suits. They didn't make us wear suits.
Okay.
Because we were just testifying before a grand jury, so we were not like in an actual courtroom.
Right, I see.
We were for like, it was like 20 people or something like that.
And so they were just trying to say.
And they was asking us questions. What do you take? Where do you get your stuff from? Who's supplying you with all these? And that's when everybody had to go legit and start going to all these TRT clinics.
Right.
And I think that helped the sport out a lot.
In what sense?
In that sense, because we was getting, it was legitimate, and we were all getting these blood tests. Because you got to have a blood test if you're going to get
prescribed.
Yeah, you
exactly.
Get this stuff prescribed. So it helped out a lot, but they didn't accomplish anything because nothing happened. Nobody really supplied that kid with those drugs.
Yeah.
So he just got them from somebody else.
But do you think that was
blamed it on our sport?
I see. Do you think that was the thing that really changed the trajectory of bodybuilding?
For the better, yeah.
For the better,
yeah.
Even though it was removed because they took it off like ESPN and all this stuff, you still think for the better.
But you know they had took it off ESPN when I won my first Olympia back in 1998. I think we got brought in around like 2002, somewhere in there, 02, 03, somewhere in there, is when they brought us all in.
Oh,
so
So they took it off earlier. Why did they took it off? Because you were too big, or what?
I have no idea. I think it had a lot to do with drugs.
The stigma.
Yeah, the stigma of bodybuilders have to take all these drugs to get that size.
This was around the same time
so
as
it started to become more popular that way. In that sense.
Got it.
Well, because before that they had all these shows with a lot of bodybuilders.
So you think they're
profile guys and everything? I mean, Sean Ray had a show where where they would show how to work out properly and do things the right way. I had them working out. I used to watch all these shows myself. I was new to the sport.
It's so funny.
So I'm trying to learn as much as I possibly can too.
It's so funny. It's so funny because I heard, again, I was talking to Jay about this, and he was telling me how, like, you would learn all these things from these people and then just beat them all. You beat them forever.
Yeah,
And then they had to try
that
to,
was
like,
another thing, because we didn't see each other and nobody knew what anybody was doing. You didn't see the guy until the day of the show.
yeah.
Just leading up to the show and working out each and every single day. Nobody saw anybody. Nobody talked about anybody. It wasn't this social media thing.
Right.
You didn't get the word until the magazines came out.
Yeah. I'm curious. Did you ever see any other bodybuilders?
Never.
But did you ever see any bodybuilders when you came to the show and you were like, oh shit, that guy looks really good?
No. I won't tell you why, because most of the time when we were backstage, I was always focusing on myself. I'm trying to get myself pumped up. I'm trying to get myself hyped up. So I didn't want to see the other guy. But when I first started working out and first started going to shows, I did that, and it kind of intimidated me a lot.
Really?
So I was like, let me not look at him.
You just focus on yourself.
Let me just focus on myself. But because I was so, trying to get this information and trying to learn from the sport, I'm trying to see how I'm supposed to look. So that's why I started looking at guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, they look a little bit different from me.
Yeah. What do you?
That's what I'm thinking in my head.
What do you think the number one thing that bodybuilding has taught you?
For the most part, it taught me how to work out as a bodybuilder.
Of course.
Taught me that it can be healthy if you do it the right way. If you don't do it the right way, it could be very, very unhealthy.
Right.
I don't know what a lot of these people are dying from, because they don't really. A lot of times they don't say, and a lot of stuff is rumors too.
Yeah.
You don't know what's right, but I think if these people would have done it the right way by having their blood work done and stayed on top of everything,
Yeah.
and made sure they were always like 100% healthy,
Yeah.
I don't think they would have any problem.
Yeah, I think this is really important to say because nowadays, I don't know how I know you probably don't use so much of social media. Like you're probably not on TikTok and all this stuff like yourself, right?
Mm-mm.
So nowadays it's very, very popular for kids who are very young to like talk about and joke about either taking Tren, which is crazy because it's a very hard steroid, or SARMs, which is like a new version of like pro hormones would have been back in the day, which are like different derivatives. It's like basically a steroid anyways, doing the same thing, affecting the hormones. And it's very popular nowadays on the internet, specifically TikTok, which is like a very young generation who really actively uses this to almost glorify steroid use.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for someone like you to say, hey, what you're saying right now, and I'm completely agreeing with this, is the number one thing that these kids need to think about. Because I think they just don't, number one, think at all about the consequences. They just think, oh, my favorite fitness influencer is like got a bunch of followers and they're making money and I want to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
The comparison, right? And I'm not saying, hey, don't do this or don't think like this in your life, but what needs to be said is exactly what you're saying is, kids, if you're ever going to think about this, you need to know what's going on inside your body first before you ever get started. So you know what's going on, you know what you're coming into, right? And then if you're ever going to consider to keep doing it moving forward, you have to, like even you did this, best bodybuilder of all time. What, how 3 times a year you got your blood work done?
Yeah.
And like that's the thing, like people sometimes maybe they're afraid to do it or they just don't know to do it, but it's one of the most important things to do is to know what's going on inside your body, specifically in this case if we're putting something inside our body. And I just want that to be said because I know some kids might watch this, and I know like a lot of kids are actively like almost joking about this shit on the internet.
Yeah.
And it needs to be said because there's very serious consequences as we're seeing.
Very serious, yeah, especially when you start dying. And this sport is not worth dying for.
No.
Not at all. Because I remember back in 2001, I'll never forget it like it was yesterday. I woke up the morning of Olympia, and I felt awful.
Yeah.
I was totally dehydrated. You know, you have to be kind of a little bit dehydrated to get up there on stage. But this morning, I felt awful. I felt real bad. I was to the point where I felt like I was kind of dying.
Yeah.
And it scared the living hell out of me. I called my nutritionist. I said, hey, dude, I feel awful. Forget this show. I'm going to the hospital. I'm not going to die for this sport. I'm going to the hospital.
What were you feeling? Like your heart? What were you feeling?
Exhausted.
Like to a crazy
I was
level.
so tired, I could barely get out of bed.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, this ain't the way I'm supposed to feel. You know,
Yeah.
I've won, 4 or 5 times already, and I've never felt like this. So I just called him, and I like, hey, forget this show.
Yeah.
I want to live. I'm going to the hospital right now. He's like, no, you work too hard. I tell you what you do. Just grab a gallon of water and drink as much as you can. And that's what I did. I grabbed a gallon of water, and I drank the whole thing. And I felt good.
So you were severely dehydrated.
I was severely dehydrated.
You could have died.
If I hadn't drank that water, yeah.
Fuck. That's so crazy.
But I wasn't gonna let that happen. I was going to. I was literally going to the hospital. I had told my hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, let me call Chad first and tell him what I'm doing before I go. And I called him and said, hey, I'm on my way to the hospital. I feel awful. Something ain't right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not supposed to feel this way. And I was almost out the door. I called him and he said, no, don't do that. You work too hard. He said, just grab a gallon of water and drink as much as you can. And that's what I did.
Did you do the show still?
I did.
Oh my God, dude.
Because after I drank that gallon of water, I felt okay.
Was this in Olympia?
There was the morning of the 2001 Olympia.
Oh my God.
2001 Olympia. There was the morning of the show.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, no, something ain't right.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to feel like this.
Did you ever feel like that again?
I never felt like that again.
Yeah.
Never felt like that again.
Do you think you just took too much diuretic?
No. What I done was I tried to be Superman, and I was going to compete twice a year. I had already done the Arnold Classic earlier that year.
Okay.
And that was the only time I ever done that. I'd never done that before.
So that's what it was.
That's what it was. My body peaked at the Arnold Classic. I looked the best I ever looked, you know, what people told me. And I was trying to peak again for the Olympia. And my body's like, no, dude, we already peaked.
Yeah. You can't have this twice.
You can't do this twice.
Yeah.
And I never did that again. And I never had that problem again.
Damn, that's so fucking crazy. Have you ever had any other moments like that where like not like any other like health scares?
No, that was the only one.
The only one in your life.
The only one I had.
Damn.
Yep, that was the only one.
What other like recovery things would you do? Like, did you do like during your career?
Yeah,
not obviously not the stem cell stuff now, but like during your career.
Yeah, I told you earlier. I took 3 months off every single year after I won the Olympia.
So like the next day you're like 3 months I'm chilling.
I'm chilling. No working out, no cardio, no diet, nothing.
And that seemed to fucking work.
That worked like a charm for me.
Damn.
So I was resting and recovering for 3 whole months after every Olympia.
What would you do typically? Like, because you weren't training, because that was like your life. Did you like just...
I would go on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, I would go on a cruise.
Where's the best place you've ever been? Vacation-wise.
Vacation-wise? Actually, Aruba was real nice. I remember going there. St. Thomas was real nice.
Yeah.
Jamaica was real nice. A lot of those places were real nice. You know, I would do it every single year though.
Yeah.
And I just relax and take it easy. Don't do nothing.
Yeah.
No cardio. No nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. No workout. Nothing.
Bro,
just taking it easy.
You were okay with it? I feel like your mentality is like you're so much like I need to do this. How did you like?
I was so at the time consumed with talking myself into, hey, this is good for me. I can make my career last a little bit longer if I do this.
So it was still about
It was
bodybuilding.
about bodybuilding.
Yeah, I see.
I was trying to last as long as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Without burning out or something.
Do you think there'll ever be another bodybuilder like you, man? Like genuinely?
No, because the times have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to be a bodybuilder now.
Yeah.
Like 100%, committed to being a bodybuilder.
Yeah, it's way different.
As a bodybuilder, there's so many other ways of making money now.
Yeah, like we were saying.
Like, you didn't have all this social media stuff when I was coming along.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think there'll be another one because you don't have to do that no more.
Yeah.
Guys, like I said, guys are starting their own supplement companies now.
Yeah.
Own T-shirt company and all of this other stuff you can do,
Yeah, for sure. So you have 4 daughters, right?
8.
8 daughters. You have 8 daughters?
Yeah.
And you have you're never gonna have a son, huh?
Never gonna have a son.
This is the craziest shit ever. This has to be one of the craziest things about you.
Somebody has to put the girls here.
You have 8 daughters.
Yeah, everybody can't.
Dude, I was gonna say, like, which one wants to be a bodybuilder? None of them, right?
None of them.
Damn, it's so crazy. Like it's like you're one and done.
Yep, exactly.
So you were trying to have a son?
Oh, every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time, yeah. Never happened.
That is like
okay.
That is the craziest shit. It's like God was just like, okay, this is the one. All right, no more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
that's crazy to me.
No sons whatsoever.
8 daughters,
Mm-hmm.
no sons.
No
Fuck.
sons.
You were just meant to be 101, man.
Yep, exactly.
That's amazing. So I have a question. What other projects are you working on? Are you working on anything new?
Yeah, right now we're doing this NFT. We're
Okay.
releasing it May 2nd. We're doing like a 14/19, release because I'm going to try to do something that other guys are not doing.
Yeah.
So see, with the 14/19 that I'm doing, I can be one-on-one with these guys. I can, bring them in. We have utilities.
You're talking about the
where you
holders.
yeah.
For the holders, yeah.
We have utilities where they can come to my house. They can work out in my gym.
Yeah.
They can see my trophy room. They can work out with me at Metroflex.
Yeah.
They can. We got a trip to Dubai every year.
Oh shit.
They go on this trip to Dubai. They can. I even have one where they can sit front row with me at the Mr. Olympia.
Oh shit.
So yeah, we're gonna do ours a little bit different. Whereas everybody that buys a NFT can talk to me and hang out with me.
Yeah.
And do all this one-on-one stuff. That's why I'm not doing that, that big release. For a lot of the guys are doing 10,000. Right. I'm doing, 14/19.
Total.
Okay. We're breaking it down in categories where we got gold, silver, bronze. And then we got, the auction where our cheapest one is 0.1 Ethereum.
0.1 ETH.
Yeah, and most expensive one is like 1 Ethereum, almost like $2,800.
Yeah,
those are the ones you just bid on the auction.
I see.
Auction.
I see.
We only have 9 of those, and it's from each Olympia. One of my greatest poses. I got a front lat, I got a rear lat.
What do you think your best pose is?
For me, it was always front lat.
Front lat.
Yeah, that was always my favorite.
You
pose.
hit that, you were like, I'm crushing these guys.
Yeah. And then also my rear lat. Front lat and rear lat were my favorite 2 poses.
Yeah,
of course I got those in there.
I remember I was talking to Jay again, and he was telling me how if guys would see you when you'd show up to the shows, and they'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like when they were like, "Who the fuck?"
They never saw me, until that day,
But every time they're like, how the fuck is this guy doing this?
And people don't know this, every Olympia I did, I was always trying to get better after every Olympia. So I would gain at least 5 to 7 pounds every show.
Yeah.
So my first Olympia I was 245. Then
holy shit.
The next one I was 5 pounds heavier.
You're talking about on stage, right?
On stage, yeah. And the next one I was 5 pounds heavier than that one. all the way up to like almost 300 pounds.
Yeah.
My last show, I was 295.
On stage.
Yeah, 296, somewhere in there.
Off stage, what, like off season, what was your typical weight?
Off stage, I was always between 320 and 330.
At 5'11", you
At
told me.
5'11", yeah, 5'11".
You were fucking like, just people just
and it's
see
natural
you.
weight, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my normal weight, so you know, it's no problem at all for me to carry this weight. 'Cause this
It was
is
easy
normal
to
weight.
carry it.
It's easy to carry. I can still do like splits and everything.
You were doing splits,
Yeah,
What the
full
fuck?
splits at 330 pounds.
bro. Just
So I
like
was still real flexible. No problem at all doing that.
that's crazy though.
None at all. It was easy for me to do.
What the fuck?
So once I got a certain weight, it was no problem.
Genetically, man.
Oh
just
yeah, I got a
different.
little gift for you here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I got a NFT. I know
Oh, let's fucking go.
You are trained back a lot.
Yeah.
You got a real big back tooth, sort of
Yes.
like me. So I got one of my gold series for you.
Wait, does this like it changes?
That's my silverback.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Do they all? They don't all come like this, no?
No, well, the auction ones do.
They do.
Yeah. The
So
ones that auction-
okay, 22 of 25.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, this is mine.
That's yours.
Oh, let's go. This shit fucking it like.
Damn, that's sick.
Oh, that's dope as fuck, dude.
So you'll have one of the NFTs.
Oh, let's go. That's lit.
I
love it, man.
Gold series.
I mean, it's an honor. I just want you to know, like, genuinely, man, it's an honor to have you here. It's an honor to talk to you.
It's
Like,
an honor to be here. For
no,
me.
you are a fucking legend, man. Like, I'm in here trying to I'm trying to build myself, trying to build my name. But dude, you have done tremendous things that like I fully believe that no one else will ever do in the bodybuilding community, man.
I'm just doing what I love doing.
That's but it's an honor,
That
dude,
was all,
for real.
That's what it's all about for me, you know.
Yeah.
Having fun, enjoying myself.
I love it, man. I'm grateful for this, for real.
Yeah.
I like. Thank you.
No problem at
Yeah.
all.
So one last thing before we go, I'm just curious, during your career, did you ever deal with any sort of mental health issues or anything now? Have you ever gone through stuff like that? Like, because I dealt with a lot of this shit. I'm not trying to make all my podcasts about this, but I'm really curious if you've ever dealt with anything trying like that, or even just in your life.
No, because I've always lived life to the fullest. I've always lived life to enjoy myself
Yeah.
and to have fun. So I've always associated life with a lot of positivity. There's never been a lot of negative things I've dealt with, you know.
Yeah.
There's never been a lot of negativity thing that I've dealt with because I've always tried to surround myself with positivity.
Yeah.
So anything that's negative, I kind of shy away from.
Yeah.
So I've never had, you know, this issue with, you know, everybody's different, you know.
Yeah.
I've never had, you know, issues with, you know, those types of things where.
Yeah. Did you ever have any like, when did you learn that to like push away the bullshit? Like, was it just your whole life you knew that?
At a very young age, I learned that.
How'd you learn that?
Because, you know, it's the way my mom kind of raised me. You know, if you do the right thing always, you'll never be associated with bad things. You'll never be associated with doing wrong things. So I've always been mentally very strong.
Clearly. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no way you could have done what you did without having that.
Yeah. So I've always tried to be on the straight and narrow for the most part. Never tried to, you know, get involved with, you know, drugs and alcohol and all that kind of stuff. I never drink or smoke, you know, as a kid coming up.
Yeah.
No marijuana, no nothing, you know. No kind of drugs or nothing.
Never.
Never. And I've always just done it that way, you know. That's how I was able to get on the police department real easy, you know. I had no problems with nothing getting on with the police department. Working all those years there. I worked 15 years full time before I had to quit because I was never there.
Yeah.
Once I won those Olympias and guys, I can't take off. Come on, Ronnie's taking off.
And you were in fucking Aruba, chilling.
Or in Germany, Japan, or somewhere,
Yeah.
doing, I guess, posing or something. I was gone a lot.
I have a question. Did girls ever like throw themselves at you in different countries?
All the time.
This is so interesting to me.
You know, but when you're focused,
You never just smashed a
don't-
few?
No, yeah.
Okay, okay, good, okay.
Every now and then, I enjoyed myself.
Of course.
On some of these trips, but for the most part, I was very businesslike.
Yeah.
For the most part, very businesslike. And like I said, I always try to stay away from negativity.
Yeah, away from bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's why I was so successful. With what I was doing, because I always stayed positive. I shied away from trouble.
Yeah.
You know,
And you seem
a
very
lot of bad stuff.
You seem very regimented. Like it was just like you just
Very
did this.
regimented. I had a plan that I stuck with, and I stayed with it,
Yeah.
and never shied away from it.
Yeah.
I was telling Jay the other day, man, out of all those Olympics I won, I really never enjoyed it until now.
You said that.
Jay said it too.
Yeah.
He's like, I was thinking the same thing.
Because you
the
were
other day.
in it.
I was.
You
in
had
it.
to do it.
And yeah, I was thinking when I won the Olympia.
Next.
I had my fun. I ate my meal, my bad meals, but I was always thinking about the next Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. That makes so much sense.
I didn't enjoy it a whole lot. I didn't, get a chance to party. It was back to,
The board, yeah, the
routine.
working board.
Yeah.
Do you think it's important then for the person listening, anyone listening to this now, like to try to slow down sometimes to enjoy it, or do you just think you say fuck it, just get it?
If you want to win,
Yeah.
win 8 in a row, you got to remember everybody's trying to beat you when you're on the top.
Yeah.
You got to stay focused, and you got to stay. You got to stay within a certain.
You almost can't even look and be like, okay, I'm enjoying. You just got to keep going.
You got to keep going.
Yeah.
You can't. Like I said, I never really enjoyed winning those Olympias until I
so crazy.
retired.
It's so crazy, but it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Because you get used to it.
Yeah.
You get used to it, especially after you done won 2 in a row.
So how did you know that when you got the 8th and you were done? How did you know you were done? When did you know you were done?
I knew I was done kind of like when I got second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck this.
No. I'm going to try one more time.
Okay. Yeah.
After that, when you knew you were done. Yeah.
Did you think
But
you deserved
had won
second?
so many. Not the first time.
Yeah.
No, I think I still had it, but that they were always like, "Well, change is good," and they want somebody new. You kind of like
You keep winning.
you keep winning, and we can't make a lot of money this way.
Yeah. I feel like
know you're gonna
politics.
win. Yeah, everybody know you're gonna win, so they're not showing up like they used to.
I feel like you should have
So
9.
we got to shake it up, a little bit.
should have had 9.
I should have had 9, but I got 8. So, and looking back, I'm like, man, I don't know how I got 8. It went by so fast, and I never really enjoyed it. How did I do that?
Bro, you're just a fucking machine.
Because I was so regimented, like you said, and I
Yeah.
was so focused on the next one.
Yeah. I think that's what it takes so to be great, like truly, truly great at anything.
Yeah,
You have to have
You
that.
have to have that. Yeah,
Whether it's bodybuilding or anything, I think
Yeah.
that's what it takes.
that's exactly what it takes.
Yeah.
It's only been like 3-4 guys win that many in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, and only 2 guys to win that many.
Yeah. And
And,
only one of those guys who can lift the weight that he does. Literally only one. You remember the classic line?
come to
Everybody.
think of it,
What was it? Everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but don't
Nobody
know.
want to lift no heavy ass weight.
Yes, that's my favorite, bro. That is my favorite quote of yours of like life, man.
Yeah, that was one of my ways of getting fired up in the gym too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, buddy, lightweight baby. I'm tired of saying that, so I got to come up with something else.
Everybody want to be a bodybuilder. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody want to be a bodybuilder. Everybody want to lift no heavy ass weight.
Yeah, legendary, man. That I'm telling you,
Most of them
like,
true though, especially that one.
oh yeah, that one's fucking true for sure.
At the
So,
time I was doing, I really thinking about that though.
bro, I mean, you're legendary. There's no doubt. Like forever in
I was
history.
having too much fun doing what I was doing,
Yeah,
even though I was focused and not really trying to enjoy it, to the level that I think I should have been.
so you think you should have tried to enjoy it more?
Yeah, I think I should have, but
In what sense? Like,
I wonder if I would have won all those if I didn't.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think so. I
I
think
don't,
you
I
being
don't think so either.
I think you being the machine is what it took.
Yeah, I think me being the machine and lifting heavy like I did
Yeah.
was my thing.
Yeah.
And that's the way it was meant to be.
Yeah, because I think it just has to do with, like, I mean, if we're talking about bodybuilding, like the density, like all that stuff that you were able to maintain and have,
Yeah.
while still being dry, lean, everything in that sense. It's one of one, man. Like I said.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna get into some audience questions. Do you have any of those ready?
Yes.
So at the end of every podcast, we have audience questions. They just like send them in. If you guys want to send them in, it's askrawtalk@gmail.com. Send any questions, and myself and the guests will answer them to the best of our ability. So
One thing I forgot to mention, we
Yeah.
having a sweepstakes also where everybody who buys a NFT get a chance to win.
are you talking about this one?
Yeah, that one.
So what?
But everybody that buys one has a chance to win, not just one who buys the most.
What do they win?
Tesla.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So is this my entry?
Yeah.
So if I win the Tesla,
Did you buy one though? Yeah.
yeah, that's right. This is mine. What you mean? It's right here. What you mean? Yeah, no, I got it. It's right here. It says it's 22 or 25. So yo, it'd be crazy if I won, because
Yeah, it
I
would
would
be.
I would win it. I'd give it away too, though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
promise.
yeah.
I'd give it away, and it would be like a little collaborative. I won Ronnie's Tesla. We're giving it away together. That'd be sick.
That'd be crazy.
No, seriously though, like, am I entered though? Like, okay, cool. I'm like, I don't really want the Tesla, but like, I do. That'd be sick if we were able to do that.
Legitimately, that's your NFT. Like,
Oh, that's hype. I love it.
18 to 25 or 22 to 25.
Thank you,
Yeah.
man. Okay, so there's the giveaway, and that's just when it comes to buying this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody who just buys one, it's
No matter which level.
into that sweepstakes. Yeah.
Okay.
No matter what level. Yeah.
Cool.
All right,
Yo,
you
hit
ready
us
for
with
the
those.
questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so it says, when did you feel like you accomplished what you were supposed to do in your life?
Oh.
I feel like sometimes it's hard to see everyone doing good, and I'm here in the same spot. Then again, I'm working and so on. So they want to know.
All right, I'll answer this. So when did I feel like I accomplished what I needed to do in my life? I'm 100% still in the machine.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say that I've done
still
it.
trying to get better at what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's I spent my whole life doing that though.
Yeah.
Trying to get better at whatever I'm doing. Like when I was in college, I can always remember in my room studying real hard. There was some times that I would get so involved with studying that I didn't even sleep. I mean, I spent the whole night studying.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get better and be better.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it worked out pretty good. You
Yeah,
know,
hell yeah.
I graduated at the top of my class with a high GPA. I graduated cum laude.
Hell
Not
yeah.
like a lot of my friends, thank you, Laude.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, I think that's what it takes to be great at anything.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
just because like I feel like I've done a lot, I've accomplished a lot of cool things, and I'm grateful for my position in life. But there's no way I'm stopping. The only way I'm
No
stopping
way.
is when I'm fucking dead.
Exactly.
Straight up.
As long as you're alive, as long as you got, the energy and the strength to do it, always try to put your best foot forward at each and everything that you do.
Yeah. And
I
every
did
fucking
that-
day.
And I did that with everything I've ever done.
Yeah.
Even when I was, like I said, in college, worked for the police department, bodybuilding,
Yeah, no matter
Even
what.
though, I didn't think I was going to be 8-time Miss Olympia, I'm still going to give it my all and put 10% behind it.
Yeah. I just think it's a personality thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
And I definitely have that as well. So good. Let's get the next one.
All right, it says, if you're cutting or bulking,
Oh, this is
do
a good
you
one.
weigh your portions out? I'm asking because your videos, you eat at restaurants. So how do you keep track of your intake of food throughout, like,
Okay. Okay. So for me, I've been doing this for so long now that I definitely have a gauge of. I mean, I could notice how much protein just by looking at
You
it.
can eyeball it for
Yeah.
the most part.
For sure.
For me, I weighed and measured everything I ate.
How fucking crazy.
I weighed and measured everything I ate.
The whole career?
My whole career.
Oh my God. Fuck that. That's
When
why
I-
I'm not Mr.
when I was-
Olympia 8
when-
times.
Yeah, when I was at the restaurant, I wasn't dieting.
So
That
okay.
was all season. Yeah.
That was so you would never go to a
I
restaurant.
never ever went to a restaurant when I was dieting.
Damn, bro.
I weighed and measured everything.
That's
Knew
fucking.
exactly how
I'm telling you, you're a
I was
machine.
putting into my body. Yeah.
But that's why.
Everything
That's
was
why you had it.
regimented. Yeah, like
Fucking.
you said.
Holy shit. So yeah, listen. I'm not Mr. I'm not 8-time Mr. Olympia. That's a fact. We all know that. But I've gauged it where I'm like, okay, this can work for me, and I know that I'm not always 100% strict on it. If I'm like, okay, I'm really gonna be crazy about it, then I don't necessarily measure things, but I know 100% of things that I can't eat. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go eat out. I'm not gonna eat certain things. I know that I stay away from them, and it just works for me. And this is the thing to the people listening. You learn your body. That's one of the things he's mentioned earlier as well. Everyone is so different.
Everybody's body is different.
And responds to like everything different. So you be aware and be attentive to your body. Listen to your body. See what happens after you eat some food. How do you feel? Did it make you feel better? Did it make you feel worse? And you have to take inventory of these things throughout your time doing it. And then you really understand what's working for you, not just what someone else is saying worked for them.
Yeah, and like I was saying, everybody's body is different. A lot of the people don't know this, but I didn't really eat any vegetables when I was dieting.
Okay, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
No
The
greens.
fact that you're not like you didn't
No
die,
greens
like I'm just
whatsoever.
what the fuck?
None.
And your blood work was
Zero.
perfect?
Yeah.
Dude, you're a freak, man. You are a fucking you are one of one. Never ever is gonna exist
I
again,
try to tell people genetics plays a big part in
bro.
everything we do.
You were dealt. You were. It's like you were the perfect storm.
And some people can be genetically freaky, like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, bro. But you got the. Not only did you get the genetics for the muscle maturity but the genetics for the mental like acuity of like the craziness of I'm gonna do. Like you were the perfect storm. The work ethic, everything that came along with it. You did it.
And to be what I was, you had to be.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I mean, that's it.
I never thought this way before, but you probably will never be somebody.
Nah, it won't be.
Yeah.
No way.
I never thought of that before.
Yeah, there's no way, man. No way.
Now
I've
that
talked about
think
this a lot
it,
with my
yeah,
buddies.
You probably got a point there.
Like the everything, the size, the strength, the titles, everything. Like it's
Yeah.
never gonna happen like that again. No way. And especially
I
now
don't
because you
think
have
so.
no boys.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fucked. It's gone. It's like that was the last chance. Give us our next one.
This one says, who is the most interesting person you've talked to, and what do you remember from the conversation that stuck to you?
All right, me.
For-
I'm
for
saying
both
Ronnie
of you
Coleman
guys.
right now. I'm saying Ronnie Coleman right now. I've always wanted to talk to you about this stuff. Most interesting person you've ever talked to, and what stuck with you? You talked to like princes and shit. I know you said that earlier. at the gym.
No, it wasn't nothing that I remember though. If you want, if I'm being serious about it,
Yeah, of course.
the stuff I learned from Flex and Kevin, the stuff that they taught me coming up.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the sport, you know. I never wanted to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And so
So
for
fucking
me,
funny.
in order to learn from the sport, I would have to get my information from the guys that were in the sport.
Right.
And that knew all about it,
Yeah.
because I didn't know anything. So those guys.
Yeah. This just makes me think of something else. I'm not trying to shit on Flex Wheeler right now, but he said he was natural forever. And clearly he wasn't. He was the guy who helped you with your gear.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'm just like, why do you think people lie about that?
I think it has a lot to do with society and the way
Yeah.
they see bodybuilding, you
Yeah.
know, but it is what it is, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry. It just made me think about that. I was like, I was going to say it earlier and I didn't. I was like, fuck it. I just want to say it. But yeah, give us one more. Because I don't have any.
I wanted to add on to like his meals. He said he doesn't eat vegetables. So now I'm curious, what was your go-to meal prep? like that you would
Chicken and
make
rice.
yourself?
Chicken and rice.
I had chicken with rice,
Yeah.
steak, potato, and turkey every now and then. But my favorite meal of the day was always steak and potato.
Best meal.
Best meal ever.
Steak and potatoes.
And
Why?
still-
Why did you
still
avoid?
is today?
Why did you avoid veggies? You just didn't like them?
I just didn't like the way they tasted. They were awful.
But my video guy relates so hard to that. Jacob's like, I fucking hate it.
Biggest modern day gym bro.
Dude, he is. It's so fucking dope.
So cool.
God. And he crushed it. Like not only like the biggest, but the best ever. It's fucking insane. Do you have any other good ones over there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can give us one more good question.
So this one says, what do you think about martial arts instead of just weightlifting? Do you think they have similar results?
Oh, results. No, results are completely different. I think the mindset that you have to have in going to both of those to be great at both of those are the similar and the same. But if we're talking about martial arts versus weight training, like you're gonna get two completely different outcomes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like martial arts is like you're learning like a tactical skill that can be different in so many ways versus like bodybuilding. If we're talking about specifically, you can obviously get a bunch of strength and have a bunch of strength from it, but you're not necessarily going to learn how to fight. You know, it's a completely different thing.
No.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Totally different. Do you have any questions for me before we end this up?
No, not that I can think of. Let's see. I think we covered just about everything. Anything, y'all?
Maybe you wanted to ask me about the fact that I was actually stronger because I didn't use a belt.
Oh yeah. I was
Technically.
Yeah, I did want to tell you that all that stuff I hadn't never met you before, but I did see a lot of the stuff that you were doing when you were training, and I was just saying to myself, this guy's pretty strong.
I appreciate it. I was just fucking with you, by the way.
Probably a little bit stronger than me because he lifted a lot of heavy weight there, and he got no belt, no straps, no wraps, no nothing. He's naturally doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really meant what I was saying, and I got a lot of respect for people like to do it that way.
I appreciate it.
And lifting all that heavy stuff is easier said than done.
Oh yeah, you know that for sure.
Yeah, and guys will claim, "Oh, I'm stronger than him. I can do that." Yeah, right. Do it.
Yeah, show us.
Yes, you can show me better than you can tell me.
Yeah, oh yeah. Especially nowadays with the fucking internet.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's it. I just want to say, man, sincerely, thank you so much for making the time. Thank you so much for coming out and talking with me. This is something that I'll never ever forget. I really mean it, man.
The pleasure's all mine, and I appreciate you bringing me on.
Absolutely, man. You are a fucking legend, and it has been a fucking honor to have this conversation with you.
Me too.
And yeah, just thank you for your time.
No problem.
Yeah, we're out of here. I love you guys. Subscribe to Raw Talk. Make sure you drop a fucking review on iTunes. Drop a little comment on YouTube. That's it. I love you guys. We're out of here. Subscribe. We're gone. Fuck yeah. Woo! That's amazing. That's my favorite ever, man. I've always wanted to talk to you about this. I'll tell you, like, I called my buddy Brandon, and he's the guy who got me really into bodybuilding. I told him about this and how excited I was just to have a conversation with you, man. Like,
it was all good. You got a box for that thing too, huh?
Yeah, so there's a charger too. So
Okay. Oh, okay.
actually, like charge up.
This is lit.
Yeah. So all we have to do is just give us your wallet information, and we'll go ahead and we'll transfer you.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, I love it.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
When is this dropping?
May 2nd.
May 2nd. Make sure you guys show some love. Check it out. That's in
Ronnie Coleman NFT.com.
RonnieColemanNFT.com. We'll pop up. We'll give you some love. We'll pop it up.
Awesome.
No sauce. All right. Is there any soy sauce?
Yeah. It's on there already.
Oh no.
Yeah, fuck it. I guess leave it on there.
Got teriyaki on it.
Oh no, this is no sauce.
There's no sauce?
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh no. I thought that was.
No, I don't.
You want spicy mayo?
No. I want soy sauce. Yeah. I did the men's physique stuff when it first came out. With the board shorts, like the very first few shows, and then I realized I hated the industry because of the whole like political bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Because I dealt with it really drastically, like.
Really?
Yeah, so I did it, and then I remember I got second at the USA's and this men's physique shit, and then they told me how like, oh, because I didn't have a certain coach, and the coach is connected to like the promoters, that like that's why I didn't win, and all this crazy shit. And then when I got popular, because this was in the same timeline, I started to get popular on the internet when I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop competing. And then when I got popular on the internet, then that's when all these promoters and everything was like, come do my show, because like now they can get something from me. And that's when I was realized like, fuck this shit, I don't want any part of it. because of the politics involved. Just like you, they didn't want to give you the 9.
Yeah, because of that. Yeah.
Right. Actually, if you see his voicemail on the phone, there's a message. He says, should have been 9. It's all good.
It should have been. I mean, I seen this shit too. It's just it makes sense why they wouldn't be like, okay, we want to spread this out so there's more competition. But it's not genuine in the sport of like win or lose. You know, it's like it's justified with money instead of like actual outcome. And that's why I got with the bodybuilding industry. I just kind of got a little bit disengaged because I was like, you know, you could. If I score 20 points and you score 19, I win. If I lift the weight and you don't, or you don't lift the same weight, then you know, bodybuilding, because subjectiveness in it kind of just made me shy away from it.
Yeah, well, you ain't the only one.
Yeah, this is by far my favorite like medium, my favorite type of content to make because I just like learning about people.
Yeah.
I enjoy this the most every single time. And stuff like this is like surreal to me because I've always wanted to have that conversation with you. Yeah.
You have any of them?
No other bodybuilders. I have a ton of other people on it, but no other bodybuilders.
Oh, wow.
When I first considered bodybuilding, like when I was like, oh, I want to do bodybuilding, you were the guy that got me to be like, I want to be like him.
You ever do
Straight up.
any bodybuilding?
Never competitively, no. The furthest I got was, like I said, the men's physique stuff, and then I never actually did bodybuilding. Because I started to get, like I said, I got shied away from it because of the whole political bullshit.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing social media. But you were the guy when I was starting, like my journey, before social media, before there was any of that shit, I was like, oh, this guy's strong, big, that's what I want to be like. I remember I was thinking like, how much did he weigh? 300 pounds. I'm like, I have to be more than 300 pounds because I'm taller. Like, that's where my mind was at. Like, I was like, I'm going to be you, essentially. And then I got into the industry and was like, this is just kind of whack. These people kind of suck. And then I just kind of stuck to the internet thing and just obviously trained because I love it regardless.
So guys, we just finished this podcast and we are heading out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, buddy.
I love it. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming.
No problem, bro.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
You have a good one.
That was like a bucket list, 100% bucket list. I've always wanted to have that conversation with Ronnie. I'm grateful to be able to have it online, have it on the internet.